All right, we're having a look at the Soldano amp models and how to dial them in this tutorial. We're going to start with the big boy, the Soldano SLO 100. This is the amp, which is synonymous with the Soldano name. Let's have a listen to it at the stock settings. I'm using a greenback impulse here. Let's have a listen. I'm playing a PRS mirror with the stock pickups as well, but as you can hear, that to me just sounds thick. Now, I own a Soldano Hot Rod 50 Plus. It was my first really nice amp and probably my first foray into the whole universe of high-gain guitar amps. And I'm going to show you how I set the Hot Rod 50 because it kind of translates really well to this SLO. Basically, all I do on this lead mode is bump the input drive a little bit, bump the bass a little bit because I find that sort of fills it out. That's what this sounds like. I'll normally turn the presence up to about, say, 4, leave the mids in treble, and I'll also increase the master volume a little bit to 6, which tends to sort of smooth it out and take out some of that. This amp can be really, really bright, so I find turning the master up helps smooth that out. This is what that sounds like. And there it is. That is I guess that's just the tone I associate with Soldano amps, like just heaps of bloom in the low end, really smooth highs, heaps of mid-range, all the stuff that makes a lead guitar sounds really, really good. What I like to do is add a little bit of speaker comp. Let's take that to about 5 and have a listen to what that does. I quite like that. And you can play around with the sag. I normally increase it a little bit. Say if we have a listen to it at 1.5, I'll double it to 3. So stock settings. And this sounds amazing when you add a big hall reverb and a bit of delay. I'll just go ahead and do that. Let's add like 600 milliseconds of just plain old digital delay. Turn the feedback up a little bit. And let's add a big hall reverb with a mix at maybe like, I don't know, 20% or something. Stock settings. Let's go for the, rich hall. I like that one. This is the sound of an entire era, I think. Have a listen to this. That to me has a real sort of George Lynch, Warren DiMartini vibe going on. And of course, you know, guys like Lukather use the Soldano stuff, and it's a bit of a staple of that whole era. So that is the SLO 100 lead channel. And as you can see, you don't really need to tweak it that much to get that kind of classic sound happening. One thing you can do, obviously, it's kind of becoming more publicized now that the Mesa rectifier is essentially just a direct clone of the Soldano SLO circuit. So if we do kind of recto-ish settings, like we take the master volume down to about 3, and boost the bass, boost the treble, and we'll boost the presence as well. It does a pretty good, convincing modern metal sound as well. Very recto-y, and then if we add a drive block, I'll use my FET boost settings that I really like. It sounds even better. Have a That's pretty impressive from that amp. If we just go back to the normal amp block, and I'll kind of just turn the mids and the treble back to where they were and drop a little bit of presence. So the settings I had before, something like this anyway. I'll leave the master at 5. There are a couple of other Soldano models. They've actually modeled the rhythm channel on this amp, which roughly corresponds to, where is it? There's a clean channel, the lead channel, and the rhythm channel should be down here. So I think there's a really cool straight up rock sound on the Hot Rod 50 Plus that I own. It has a, what do they call it? The amp's actually right here. They call it the normal channel. So it's very, very similar to this rhythm channel on the SLO. The Hot Rod 50 Plus doesn't have a clean channel, but it has this, I call this the AC/DC channel. This is why. And all I would do on that, if you want sort of more of the Akadaka vibe, bring the input drive down to about 4, boost the presence a little bit, leave the master where it is. It sounds... So it's actually great for classic rock tones. I really like that solo 100 rhythm. The clean channel is very Fendery on the SLO. Let's have a listen to that. I find you really do have to bump the input drive and the master on this one to get a convincing sound. And essentially what I like to use are the kind of Fender Magic 6 settings. So set the bass to about 2, the mids to 3, and the treble to 6. And I'll go single coil mode on my mirror on the neck pickup, and this is what it sounds like.